Hi, welcome to the So You're a Single Parent Now What podcast. My name is Crystal. I am your host, also known as the Six-Figure Single Mom. Welcome to season 2 of the So You're a Single Parent Now What podcast. I first want to say Happy New Year. If I have not told you that yet on social media, if I have not told you that by email, if I have not told you that in person, Happy New Year. I hope you guys are off to a great start. I hope you ended the year well. And I just want to welcome you back to the channel. I want to welcome you back to the podcast. So I have a company called Six-Figure Single Mom Company. Now, in the company, I am professionally developing all professional women who want to excel in their careers. So what I do is I teach them how to go from a defeated mindset to a winning mindset. So we talk about mindset all the time, and that's what I teach them how to do. Now, the Six-Figure Single Mom brand is less about the money and it's more about your mindset shifts. So you will always hear me talking about mindset, because it's important that you shift your mindset in anything that you are in life. So I love recording this podcast because it gives me a safe space where people don't feel judged, they feel heard, and we just chit chat. That's what we do. So basically, I teach others how to boss up in their lives, and I love what I'm doing. So this episode is being sponsored by the Six-Figure Single Mom Company, right? You guessed it, the Six-Figure Single Mom Company. Now, the Six-Figure Single Mom Company is hosting a CEO luncheon. Now, this luncheon is for women of all career levels. So don't say, oh, I'm entry level or I've been in my career for 20 years. This is for women of all career levels, right? So it's designed to empower, educate, and equip you to reach the next level of success by providing solutions, helpful tips, motivation, and addressing the challenges that women face. So let's face it, women are the leading group of entrepreneurs in the workplace, and we're consistently excelling in the workplace. So why not be around other like-minded individuals that can give you the shortcuts and the keys to succeed? Trust me, the networking opportunities are endless. You want to be in this room. I have grabbed the most impactful speakers that are in the Houston area, and trust me, you're going to want to listen to them. So if you have not bought your ticket, I'm going to link the link in the description box below. I want you to click it and I want you to come because trust me, you will be in for a treat. So again, I want to thank the Six-Figure Single Mom Company for sponsoring this episode. Now, as we start season 2, I could not think of anyone better to start season 2 with, and that is none other than Tynisha, who needs no introduction at this point.
I'm back.
Yay! So we love Tynisha because she is a girlfriend chit-chat conversationalist.
I love to chit-chat.
Yes, and we love the conversation, right? Because Tynisha has very hearty, meaty conversation, and she's giving away all the HR girl codes, like all the cheat codes. You need them, right? And Tynisha's here to give them to you. So welcome, Tynisha.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again. You know I'm always down for a good chit chat.
Of course.
I'm always down to talk all things workplace and girl bosses and all of that stuff. I'm always down to do it. So I'm glad to be here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. How was your holidays?
It was amazing. So I do have a company that is Styled Holiday Decor.
Talk about it.
And we were so busy this holiday season.
Awesome.
We had some amazing clients and we were sprinkling merry magic. We were decorating people's homes for Christmas.
Yes.
We were decorating trees. We were personal shopping. We were doing all the things. So I had an amazing holiday season.
I love that. So Tynisha was just chit-chatting with me, and you guys are in for a real treat this next upcoming holiday season.
Yes.
I love that. So Tynisha will not only come and decorate your tree and your holiday decor, she will also shop for you.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people don't do that.
A lot of people need that, though.
I can't talk.
A lot of people need that. So they say that, oh, like, I just need somebody to come, put the decor up that I have. And I'm like, but it's not going to look like a professionally decorated tree. No. Let me shop for you. Yeah. And everybody that I have shopped for was like, I'm so glad you did that for me, because I would have been able to put this vision together. So we personal shop, we decorate, we come up with the vision board for it and the style board, and we do all of that. And so this year coming up, we will be carrying products. Yeah. So keep a lookout for that. I'm so excited. That is coming soon. Awesome. So big things are happening for us.
My mom loves Christmas time. Like, she absolutely, my mom is not like somebody that gets excited about many things, but for Christmas, she has 2 trees. She puts Christmas lights up. Now, normally, my dad should be out there helping, but my mom just loves Christmas time.
I am your mom.
I love that. I love that.
I had 3 trees this year in my own home on top of decorating for everybody else's home. I didn't put my 12-foot up because I was like, I just do not have the energy. But yeah, Christmas is from my front door to my back door, upstairs to downstairs. I've taken over the garage with Christmas decor. So Christmas is my very favorite time of the year. And so that's a tip. If you are passionate about something and you're good at it, make money at it. Like, why not?
Facts.
Because people will want me to come over and do it. And I'm like, well, if you're asking and, stuff like that. But I did have to learn my craft and get better, right? Yeah. Like, I just couldn't come and do, because people are trusting you with that, and they're paying a pretty penny, right? Because it's a luxury service.
Yeah.
So you have to be skilled and educated in your craft to be able to give top-notch service. So
I love that. So guys, next holiday season. And what month do you start?
We actually start in July.
Okay. So July, get your coins together.
Yes.
Because Tynesha decorates, and I have seen your work. Amazing. Top-notch. The best in the game. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And this year I tried to do a little struggle tree. I say, yep, next year, calling Tynesha.
Call me.
I'm calling Tynesha. I'm not even gonna lie. I tried to do a struggle tree. It was struggling. It was struggling.
It is definitely it's an art. Now, I will tell you this. Everybody has their thing.
Yeah.
I cannot do hair. Cannot. I can't wrap it. I can't flat iron it. I can't braid it. I can't corn roll it. So that's not my ministry.
Right.
But baby, if you throw me a tree, it's over. So you just got to know what you do well and do it, right?
And do it.
And do it.
So I love the conversation of exactly what you said, which is learning a craft, getting better at your skill, and making money doing the things that you love. That's what we should be doing anyway. Yeah. Whether it's in your 9 to 5, whether it's on a side hustle, let's do the things that we love to do, and let's make money while we're doing it.
Absolutely.
So that brings us into our first topic, which is, since there is a CEO luncheon happening, let's talk about CEO. So when I thought about the CEO luncheon, I thought impactful women, mastering their craft, doing the things they love to do, and just bossing up in any area of their life. A lot of times there's so much conversation around, oh, this millionaire and that millionaire, but we fail to talk about the average middle class working person who has a skill and who has mastered that skill and is taking them to the next level, or is making them a little bit of extra money. Whether that's in your job, whether that's on a nonprofit board that you serve on, whether that's in your church, whether it's running the budget for your home as a mom, as a wife, as a mother. It's being that CEO of every aspect of your life, or just one aspect, because we don't got it all together all the time.
And if somebody tells you they have it all together, they either have a team of people behind them helping them get it all together, or something. Because I tell people all the time, it's a juggling act.
Stop the cap. Because if somebody say they got it all together, stop the cap.
Stop the cap. You don't have it all together.
Stop the cap.
Nobody has it all together. Because if somebody had it all together, they would sell the blueprint, right?
That's right.
And you could get it, but life looks different for everybody.
Yes.
And what you need and what you want to be successful looks different. And so you have to figure out how to be the CEO of your life.
Yes, yes. And what I tell people all the time is when I think about CEO, like right now, I'm not gonna lie, this gym thing is just I'm trying to work it in my schedule.
Yes.
I'm trying to get back on it, girl. I used to do 2 miles every day.
Wow.
I'm trying to work it back in, but it's like my schedule is not allowing. So I'm not CEO in that space in my life right now. But I have intentionality to start because I got a 20th year high school class reunion coming up. And I can't, I can't be walking in there looking, I won't walk in there stunting like,
be like, look at me now. So,
yeah. But it's like I'm killing it in other areas of my life.
I have struggled with that my whole career.
Okay.
I am either killing it as a mom, or I'm killing it as a professional, or I'm killing it as a business owner, or I'm killing it with fitness, or maybe two of them.
Yeah.
But something's always on the back burner that I'm not killing it. And the guilt of that is what we have to free ourselves from as a woman.
Yeah.
We as women take on all the things that we need to be all the things, do all the things, be all the places.
Absolutely.
Have all the things. And it's not realistic. And so we find ourselves anxious, having anxiety, and even myself, like I work a 9-to-5 job and I have a business and I have 3 children and I have a husband and I have a home to keep up and I have friendships I want to maintain and relationships with my family.
Yes.
You can't manage all of that. And so you got to, one, make sure your circle is understanding of that. And then B, you got to be secure in like planning what you're going to focus on. So if you're focusing on your business, then you got to say, okay, so then my goal will only be to, like right now, I'm trying to get to the gym. I made it this morning, but I had to ask my husband for help because you got to take these kids to school because I don't have the time.
Yeah.
And so it's really learning that and being like, I need help to keep these balls rolling. So my goal this year is I'm outsourcing everything I can. Everything.
Hello? Outsource it.
I just found out you can outsource laundry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But you said something very key just now. I need help.
Yes.
And as a woman, I feel that there are many times that we do not ask for help for whatever reason. We feel like we can do it all, or we feel less of a woman if we don't take care of certain things. And it's just like, asking for help does not make you any less of a person, especially like somebody like you. You're married. So you asking for help, I'm sure your husband is wanting you to ask for help so that you don't be frustrated and anxious and upset and irritable and things like that.
Or having to walk around with an attitude.
Right. Or let's keep it real. Like as women, we get like that. And people think it's for nothing, but it's like we are trying so hard to do everything.
Every single thing.
And sometimes we just want somebody to ask. We don't want to have to tell you.
Correct.
We want you to ask.
And you know what's funny? My husband told me I can't read your mind. I'm willing to help, but I can't read your mind.
It's true, Tony.
And I'm like, but you see me running around doing this, and this. And then he was like, but the key example is we help you do the dishes and you come right behind us in the dishwasher because we ain't loaded right. So do you want our help or do you want to do it? And I'm like, no, I want you to do it, but I want you to do it the way I want you to do it.
Yes.
So we have to, so we have to release some of that control.
Yes, that's exactly
release some of that control. And that is hard for me because I have always been the architect of my life.
Yeah.
And so when you give up the control to let others help you, you have to be willing to take the outcome of someone helping you.
Yes.
And that may not look how like you want it to look, but it got done, right?
Right.
So, I mean...
So what do you care more about? The way that it's done or that it got done?
Both. And, and that's why I'm hard to please because I care about both because... For example, with my business, I was so blessed to bring on 2 people on the team because I couldn't do it by myself.
Yeah.
And so the first tree we did together, I remember saying, I'm going to have to handhold because they're not going to know where I want this. The vision's in my head and not their hands. When you work with people that you trust and you build a relationship and you share your vision, they then can execute. So by the time we finished our season, we didn't even have to speak. I would tell them, these the colors, this the ribbon, and Boom.
Okay.
Somebody's doing this. Somebody's doing that. I'm executing this, right? One, like for instance, one of them doesn't like getting on the ladder to do the top.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem getting on the ladder, so
Yeah.
I do that. But we have a method, and I'll be creating an ebook on that. On how to successfully decorate a Christmas tree.
Yes.
But what to that is you have to create the things that you need to help people be successful helping you, right?
Yes.
So if I create the recipe for it, they just have to execute it.
Yes.
And then we're all pleased. They feel like they did a good job. They met your standards.
Yes.
And you feel pleased because you got help and they did it the way you did and you didn't have to redo the work. So the onus is on us too to create an environment where people can help us. And I'm not saying I'm perfect at that all the time, but I know that's what I need to do. And so my husband, who's probably going to watch this podcast, is going to say, she needs more help.
Right. So that brings us into the next point, which is strategies to avoid burning out, especially as it pertains to asking for help and goal setting. So one of the things, like you said, is communication.
For sure.
Because we have to, as women, we have to open up, whether that's with our children, because I know sometimes my daughter will tell me like, well, why are you so snappy today? And I'm like, the dishes have been sitting in the sink for 2 days.
Yeah.
Like,
and the kids could care less.
They could care less. But I'm over here boiling.
Hot.
I'm over here boiling because I'm like, am I the only one that lives here? Mm-hmm. Why are you not taking care of this?
Because the onus is on you because you care.
Yes.
Them kids don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care until there's no more dishes for them to eat or drink. Then it's a problem.
Yes.
Mom, I don't have any. Mm-hmm. What did you forget to do the dishes?
And you said something very key earlier. You said we have to relinquish control because that's exactly what it is. So sometimes I outsource some of my social media stuff. And so I'm like, okay, this is going to relieve my day because, I want to make sure that I'm not overworked or overloaded and things like that. Why am I on social media updating what she posted when she sends me everything? We review everything. We have a strategy call. What do you want to post? What does it socials look like this? And I will still go out there and make updates. But it's just that control to say, this isn't my voice, but I wouldn't say it like this. But she's like, no. We discussed.
Yeah.
But it's like, even at home and at work, we've got to find strategies. And that strategy just may be communicate and leave it alone.
Right.
Whether it's done the way you would do it or not.
Right.
Communicate and leave it alone.
Since starting my business, I've had to do that.
Yes.
So I am a neat freak at home. Like pillows have to be fluffed and chopped. The blankets have to be on the couch. Like we vacuuming every day. Yeah. We doing this and this.
Yeah.
And when I was in the height of my season, girl, I would work from 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. Then I would be planning for the installs that's coming up that weekend. Then I'm going to shop and then I'm going to install trees. So I literally was doing 7 days a week. And my husband and my kids didn't care. Like they didn't care. I did a deep clean when my season was over, and I swear it had to be like an inch of glitter on the floor because it was, but I had to relinquish control and I had to say, my focus is my business. And I have to go hard these 6 weeks.
Yes.
And so if that means my house isn't getting clean like I like it, I'm just telling the people I live with, just pick up. Just clean up after yourself. Just pick it up. Just put your shoes out the way. But I knew that I had to give my business the time and attention it needed, especially being a new business. And I had clients that were really entrusting me to execute their vision. You know what I mean? The holidays are special and important to people.
They are.
And so I had to let go of control of my home. I had to, let go. I'm not cooking every night. And I had to communicate that, hey, we're either eating takeout or you're cooking.
Yes.
Or we're doing a lot of fend for ourselves. Baby, we have never used the air fryer so much. Throw them fries and them nuggets in the air fryer and keep it pushing.
The air fryer gets used very frequently at my house, and I'm not ashamed of it because I am a busy woman.
Yes.
Earlier today, I was looking at something, and at the end of the day, to me, it was just a reminder to keep, also as a strategy, keep the main thing the main thing. Whatever you prioritize in your life, keep the main thing the main thing. Right now, you may not get a chance to work out how you want to work out. During the season, I'm sure you didn't get a chance to go to the gym.
That was my workout.
Right, that was your workout.
Up and down that ladder, boop, boop. Girl, that was my workout.
Right. So every season of our lives, we have these prioritize our responsibilities. And sometimes the things that we actually want to do, we're not going to be able to do those. And we have to be okay with that, because sometimes when I talk to my sister, like I talked to her the other day, I'm like, I feel so down, because I'm like, I'm that person that working out is a routine.
Yeah.
It's a part of my life. It's a part of who I am. I at one point was almost 300 pounds. So to me, it is the one thing that is a stress reliever.
Yep.
So when I don't get a chance to work out, like I just don't feel like myself.
Yeah.
And so I had, at the end of the day, I was like, you know what, Crystal? Prioritize, keep the main thing, because if not, you're going to burn yourself out.
Yeah. And another key thing about burnout too is that, yes, we have to ask for help. Yes, we have to communicate those things, but we also have to be self-aware.
Yeah.
You have to be able to say, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And that took a lot out of me, because I remember one day I was on back-to-back conference calls, and before I knew it, girl, and this is at my own home. I felt so guilty getting up. I laid my head on my own desk.
Yeah.
And I said, get up. Because you're not doing this job no good, or yourself no good. You are burnt out. And that's another thing of why I created my business, because the part of HR that I was doing, which is employee relations, all you're doing is hearing people's complaints all day.
That's right.
That was burning me out. I did it for 10 years. I'm burnt out. And so, that's what I was telling you earlier. I am ready to pivot in my career and go to something because I'm burnt out. Yeah. So that is being self-aware, that if you notice a lack of performance or a lack of accountability or ambition or whatever,
or excitement
in your job, then you might be more than just unhappy in the job. You could be burnt out.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
It does.
Especially as it pertains to us. And I feel that in this climate, we are about happiness, the things that make us happy, and the things that don't make us happy, we're like, yeah, I don't really have to do that. I look at so many documentaries where people are literally becoming minimalists.
Yes.
They literally are becoming minimalists because they're like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm burnout. Like you said, I've heard everybody's problems. I've been treated poorly, and, or I'm not being appreciated.
Yeah.
So I'm out of here.
And so what you have to do with that is, because we all can't afford to just say, forget this job, I quit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we got bills. And so I think the way that in the workplace that you handle avoiding burnout or getting to the point where you're burnt out so you're not performing is you got to create boundaries.
Yes.
And that took me a long time, because I am at work. Anyway, I am a people pleaser. I'm a yes, give me that project. Yes, I'll do that. Yes. I'll send that. I'm working late to finish up projects and that, which has worked well because it's allowed me to excel in my career, but it burned me out. And so you create boundaries with your business partners, with your peers, with your, even with your supervisor, right? And that's having... One, you have to have a supervisor that is open to you setting boundaries.
Yeah.
But if they're not, then that's when you're like, okay, if they're not really cool with me setting boundaries, like, is this somebody that I really need to work with? Because
is it a good fit?
Is it a good fit? Yeah. And you tell people, you have to have boundaries. But again, it goes back to what we said in episode, whatever episode we talked about, is you have to show up in a way that your boundaries are respected, because they know I can still perform. I'm not just saying I won't do something because I won't do it.
Yeah.
I won't do it because for me to give you 110% on this project, I have to tell you no on this one.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because what I learned in my career is I was doing a lot of things, but I wasn't doing anything great.
Oh.
I was just doing things. And because I was just doing them, I was giving them, this one would get 15%. This one would get 50%. This one would get 10%. And so my body of work didn't speak to my level of expertise.
Yeah.
So what I had to do is say, I'm wanting to give this project 100% because I want it to be great.
Absolutely.
So I have to say no to coworker who wants to call me on Teams to chit chat for 10 minutes. I have to put my Teams on do not disturb.
See, this is why I don't want to go to the office, because I like going to the office, but it's just more people to interrupt me from doing my job.
Correct.
But going back and speaking to what you said about not overextending yourself and creating those boundaries at work, I think that's so important because one of the jobs that I previously had, I mean, they would call me after hours. They know I'm a single mom. They would call me after hours. They would have me traveling to and fro.
Yep.
I wasn't spending any time at home. And it's like the more and more I accepted, the more projects I accepted, girl. I had one project manager, I was doing all of his work.
Yeah.
All of his work, whatever he asked me to, oh, this month I'm not able to do the fork. Can you do? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I am very intentional. And when I work with my clients regarding coaching, I am very clear to say, when you leave this job and you go to your next job, have you thought about the things that you accepted that you didn't really want to accept, but you were just doing those things because you felt like people wanted you to do those things?
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, like you said, we all need our jobs.
Yeah.
When I'm at work, I have my coworkers rolling. I'm like, I don't know. I ain't finna say I don't need my job. I need
my job
because I enjoy leveraging my 9 to 5 to do my business.
Absolutely.
Right. So I need my job. So since I'm going to be here, these are the boundaries that I'm going to create. So when I went to my next job, I do not work after 5. I do not want to work on more than one special project at a time. If I'm going to master something, I have to be totally solely focused on that thing. Now, that's not to say those in your job description, that other duties as assigned, that may come, in that position that I'm doing. But I'm talking about me doing 2 or 3 people's jobs. That's clearly 2 or 3 people's jobs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing it. No. I don't have the mental capacity. I don't have the physical capacity. And once I stop enjoying my quality of life, is it worth it? It's not really worth it to me.
It's not. And so that's the thing too about being a, what we call a 6-figure mom or 6-figure parent, is once you start getting into those pay grades, you learn that my quality of life isn't worth this job that's paying me extra $10,000 a year, right? Like, I want to be at the job that's giving me unlimited PTO. The boss that gives me the autonomy to make my own schedule, do my work as long as I'm turning in quality work, right? I want the boss that can give me honest and true feedback and help me grow and develop, and not just on my back being a micromanager. And then those are the type of bosses that you can say, these are my boundaries. So for me, as an HR business partner, I am available for you during these times, because what I learned was when I was available for them all throughout the night, they would just keep contacting me more and more at night.
Yes,
and
they
so
will.
I'm getting calls on, the night and the weekends, and it's that harsh conversation where your child walks up to you and be like, dang, mom, you still working? Like, are we eating tonight at 7 o'clock?
Yeah.
And then you have to take a hard look and be like, I didn't create a boundary here.
Yeah.
I didn't set the tone, because you're like, why are people coming to me late at night? They know it's 5 o'clock. They know that. No, they don't. You didn't create the boundary. So they
did not.
So they keep treating you like the bear that you put on the shelf. When I need you, I call you. No thought to what time it is or anything like that. So you create the boundary.
And once people get conditioned, it's hard to uncondition them from that lifestyle, right?
Yep.
So I learned that when people were contacting me after hours, it was hard for them to uncondition themselves. They were just so in the routine of, hey, Crystal, we see this issue. Can you research it for us? Can you let us know what's going on? It's like they were so used to picking up the phone and, hey, Crystal, I need this report. Can you do? And they're enjoying their quality of life.
Yep.
But I'm up on the computer with my glasses on, half can see at nighttime. Like you say, your baby coming in there like, Mom, you still working? You've been gone all week. Yep. And now that you're home, you're still working. Yep. It's like, you have to create those boundaries. But again, it goes back to communication.
Yep. And also planning and being planful. So what I do now is I set the boundaries on my calendar. They're like, can I meet with you for 10 minutes? My calendar's up to date. Put time on my schedule. And I make sure if I tell somebody that I've put in a lunch break when I'm starting, so my calendar is blocked off before 9 o'clock. I work from home so that I can take my children to school. My boss is cool with that. Yes. So I want to spend that time in the morning being able to connect with my kids and taking them to school and stuff. So no, we're not going to be talking while I'm in the drop-off line. Like we can talk after 9 o'clock, because we're not brain surgeons. Yes. What you need is not The world is not burning down. And the same thing after 5. Like, my calendar's blocked. So if you need to speak to me, go to my calendar. So now somebody will call me. They'll text me first and be like, this is a 911. I'm so sorry. I didn't get to get on your calendar. And then I know that it's truly important.
Yes.
And that is something I need to address, because there are times that people are going to be out of schedule, and it's a 911. Yeah. But like you said, I've conditioned them.
Yep.
These are the things you need to be aware if you need me, because I got to take care of me and my own mental health and my own work-life balance. You know what I mean? So I think that you got to use the tools to be able to create those boundaries. And then you got to be able to produce that when I am working, I know if Ty is on the clock and I need her, she's there.
Yeah,
right?
You got to give 100. This is what I tell people. You cannot contact me after 5. You cannot contact me before 9. Yep. However, between those hours, you are going to get a spectacular employee. You are not going to get 100%. You're going to get 150% out of Crystal.
Yeah.
And that's just who I am. Yeah. Some people might stop it at 100%. That's just who I am. I go above and beyond. I'm a part of so many things at my job from people just seeing that I go above and beyond, but that's just who I am. You're going to get all of me. And this is a pro tip for those out there who are maybe just starting their careers or who are mid-level but haven't created those boundaries. Put a lunch on your calendar.
Say it louder.
I had to learn that.
Louder.
Because people
in the back.
People don't care if you eat.
Put a lunch on your calendar.
I had to
see me when I say that.
Out.
Put a lunch on that calendar.
I had to block out literally.
Yes.
I had to block out time for a lunch. So that is a pro tip. And I know it sounds like something that's very minimal, but literally I just started doing that within the past couple of years.
Yes. Oh, and for my work from home people, leave home at least once a week.
Yes.
And people think I'm crazy, but I will go sit at a restaurant and have lunch by myself.
Yeah.
But what I've also started doing is you gotta be planful in the event. Okay, I'm solving 2 things, right? Like, I'm planning a lunch outside of my home. Mm-hmm. Well, let me go surprise my husband and go have lunch with him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because when you have something to look forward to, you will be more apt to do it. But if you know you're just sitting at home, you're like, I don't need to put a lunch on the calendar. I'll eat when I want to.
Yeah.
Well, I was finding that my metabolism tanked because I wasn't eating. I was getting up, taking the kids to school, getting a cup of coffee, sitting at the desk. Before I know it, it's 2:00.
Yes.
It's 2:00, and I'm shoving crackers in my mouth real quick in between calls because I'm hungry. And I'm like, I'm tired of doing that.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is that. Or if I don't eat, say I do want to eat a late breakfast or a late lunch, I'm taking that lunch break and I'm going on a walk. I need to move my body.
Yes.
So use that time. I calendar everything. I no longer am not going to get checkups. I'm putting it on the calendar.
Yeah.
I put it in my planner for, every year, my yearly is this. I need a checkup for this. The kids need eye doctors. We need dentist appointments. And I'm putting it on my work calendar. Yeah. And that is a boundary that my family's health is important. Yes. And I'm scheduling it and I'm putting it on the calendar. So I have no reason not to be able to go.
Yeah, because like you said, if you don't put it on your calendar, you won't do it. That's one thing that I learned too is a lot of times when I was working from home, I was not taking the lunch. So like you said, you're sitting at your desk and you're dozing, right? Because your metabolism is not kicking up. But what I learned is if you create a routine to where you do something active in the morning, like you said, take your kid, drop your kids off or whatever the case may be, come back, sit at your desk, keep that water jug at your desk, drink that water every hour to keep you awake. On your lunch break, like you said, either take a walk, do something, get up from your desk.
Yeah.
Because if not, people can think they can interrupt your day. Get up from your desk, take a proper lunch and then come back. And then at 5:00, it's a hard stop. What I like about my manager is she will say, I have a hard stop at 4:30.
Hard stop. That is one of my favorite corporate words, y'all.
She says I have a
hard stop. Gotta go.
At 4:30?
Gotta go.
She's like, hey guys, on this meeting, I have a hard stop at 4:30. So whatever we need to talk about, I have about 3 minutes.
Now I gotta go.
And then I have to leave.
That is a boundary.
That is
when
a
you
boundary.
get on a call and people will want to have small talk for 10 minutes. Hey, everybody, I want to circle the wagons. Can we get started? Because I have a hard stop at X, Y, and Z. Yeah.
My manager, she will let you know. She has a hard stop at 4:30. She's not going a minute over. My manager be about to push me down going out on the elevator area. And she not looking at me crazy like, why are you leaving the days that I do have to go to the office? She's not looking at me like, why are you leaving? She's looking at me like, good for you.
See you later.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Leaving at a decent time.
Now, I don't miss the office because I'm not going to hold you. I feel like the office is a big time robber. I feel like
distractions.
Yes, they are. And I be so sleepy. I go get coffee two, 3 times a day. I be like, I got to go get some coffee because I am dying. But the thing, and that's the thing is you know, creating boundaries again too is just, it's so key in avoiding burnout.
Yes.
It's so key. And I think that a lot of people think that doing a lot and being always available shows that you're a team player. But I think that there's other ways that show that you're a team player without having to sacrifice your boundaries.
So you know what's crazy about the conversation that we're having is it really truly ties back to the conversation of being a CEO.
Yeah.
Being a CEO in your life as well, you have to create boundaries. You have to create accountability tools. Yep. So I have those friends that will tell me, hey, I ain't seen nothing out there lately. What's going on? Or I have those friends that'll tell me, like, we ain't had lunch in a minute. Like, what's going on? I've seen that you've been doing this, you've been doing that, but we ain't been, we haven't seen each other. Just those people in your life that will help push you to the next level. You need those people. Putting yourself in rooms and supporting people. Mm-hmm. That's another way that you can stay accountable. But back to the CEO is, to me, what we're talking about, those boundaries are very pivotal in the family, in your career, as well as any other environment that you're in. I know for me, I serve on the board of a nonprofit, so I am involved in a for-profit and involved in a nonprofit. I'm a single mom. I have a career,
you got a lot going on.
I have a business, so and I'm involved in my church.
Yeah.
So there's so many variables that are going on. So if I didn't create that boundary, like sometimes even when I go to church, I say, my musician will say, "What'd you think about this week?" I'm like, "You the musician.
Do it.
Because and I hope he don't listen to this, but every Sunday at one point he was asking me to sing during the invitation, and some weeks I would be like, I kind of want to be ministered to.
Yeah.
Like during this time, I'm kind of feeling the spirit a little bit. Like I want to, and then eventually I just told him, I said, I'm not able to sing for invitation every Sunday, and I hope that's okay.
That's a boundary.
That's a boundary for me. I can help out 2 Sundays because I am one of the main singers at my church. I can help out 2 Sundays in addition to the main singing that I do. But I'm like, sometimes I just enjoy sitting back. As you know, I'm a pastor's daughter.
Yeah.
So I am expected to rise to the occasion all the time. But unless I create those boundaries, like sometimes people try to get in my business at church, I'm like, I'm like, we ain't gonna talk about that.
Yep.
That don't have nothing to do with nothing.
For sure. And creating boundaries at work, you brought up a good point, is making sure you keep your business to yourself.
Yes.
Because people will start saying that your boundaries are excuses because they know your personal life. So I'm not telling you every time I have a personal situation, or when I put PTO on the calendar, I don't need to tell you where I'm going.
I'm definitely not telling you where I'm going. PTO. This day to this day.
Sick. If I call in sick, I'm sick. I don't feel good.
I don't need to run through my throat scratching.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
The weekend. If I put in a sick day, it's a sick day.
Correct. Do I have it on my my time sheet to be able to take?
Yeah.
That's it. That's creating boundaries for people not to expect you to have to over explain yourself.
Because sometimes what I've learned is when you do that, you open the floor for people to use things against you. So I was on a call the other day. This is a prime example, and I kind of cringed when this happened. I'm on a call the other day, and so when we have our project calls, before we discuss the business of the business or things that are going wrong, we always start out with, so does anybody have anything that's going well on your project? Or well, and if people have kids or whatever, every now and then they'll announce that they got a new kid. And this person says, oh, well, I have something personal. I got accepted in a law school at this school. And I'm like...
Does your boss know that you want a law career?
I'm like, like you said, it's just I kind of cringed a little bit because I'm like, I keep a lot of stuff
For sure.
personal.
Yeah.
Like, people at my job don't know that I have a business and that I'm involved in my church and that I'm involved sit on the board of a nonprofit. And I did a presentation the other day because I was spotlighted as an employee. And one of my coworkers that knows I have a business, he messaged me. He said, I like the way that you didn't talk about your business. I said, well, I don't want to do anything that's going to be held against me later on.
Right.
So when this comment was made about law school, what Tynisha's saying is true. Keep your business because sometimes it is creating a boundary, but sometimes those things can be used against you as well. It's like, oh, well, we didn't like the way that she did this. Was she researching? Was she doing homework on the clock? Was she doing this? Was she doing that? You may not be doing those things.
Yeah. Or does she have a hard stop because she's going to work her side business?
Yes,
whatever.
Or she's not invested into
she's not invested.
Role
yes.
Because she's doing this. So afterwards, she did come to me because she's one of the ones that knows about this business too. And she says, I already feel bad for saying that. And I said, yeah, I probably would have held off on saying that because you just don't want to open the floor up to people to use something against you. And you don't want people to think that you're not fully invested into the role that you're currently doing. You may be goal setting to be in another position because what she wants to do is actually applicable to what we do. She wants to be an attorney for construction projects and things like that. So it's in line with what we do, but it's just everybody can't see your vision.
Everybody can't see your vision.
And everybody can't go. We
everybody can't go.
We got so many people on the call. And when you say this, it's like you just don't know how it's going to be interpreted.
Perceived.
You know what I mean? So I've enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah,
I mean,
lot.
It creating boundaries and goal setting and just strategies to avoid burnout. Those were the main things that we want to talk about, and accountability tools. Those are the main things that we want to talk about, especially since it's the beginning of the year, because you still have time to be intentional about the things that you want to achieve this year, intentional about the relationships that you want to build, about the boundaries that you want to create. And I will encourage anyone, if you are looking for another job, if you're looking to transition your career, if you're looking for a totally separate job, a separate company, take time to write down those things that you did at your previous job or company that you kind of let the reins go on the boundaries, right? So if you started to do things that you didn't really like doing, or those things that you didn't really agree with doing because they were taking up so much of your time and you knew that a boundary was crossed there, create those going into your job. Take time to write those down.
Yeah.
I do it all the time. I encourage my clients to do it all the time. And I just think it's a helpful way for you not to fall into, because even when I went to my company now, they asked me to work on mega projects because of my experience. I said, no, I have work-life balance now going on, and I don't want to interrupt that.
For sure. And I also think too, to the point you said is writing down, where you may have slacked off and, where you need to create better boundaries this year. I also would encourage you, if you are looking for another job or another role, since we're at the beginning of the year, I simply just recommend get an Excel sheet, list each tab as the month, and then every month just go in there and just put the things that you have done in there.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you will have so much to reflect back on. Your performance review will be easier to write. And it also will show you, okay, so the month that I was more productive, did I have boundaries set or not?
Right.
Or the months that I got a lot done, was it successful work or was it not because I didn't set boundaries or I didn't goal set appropriately, right? Because I know for me, if I don't set a goal, I kind of feel like I'm just out there floundering, like doing, and I fall victim to the email inbox.
Yeah.
If I don't have a goal set of these are the goals I'm working on, then I'm just responding to everybody's email in my inbox all day and haven't touched what is really the goal that I'm setting forth in work, right?
That's real talk.
Because people will email you to death.
Yes.
And I told my assistant the other day, I said, and I love her to death. She is great. She is everything I need. But don't email me, thank you, girl.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
What's understood don't need to be explained.
And that is a boundary I set with her. Do not. And then also she's conditioned from a previous boss that she feels like she has to see why. I told her, I said, don't CC me on an email that I don't need to action. I will let you know. And I know that you take copious notes and you have stored that email away for if I have questions.
Yeah.
I will let you know if I have questions, but do not CC me on things that I don't need to read. That is a boundary for me to have more time in my day, because I kept saying, I am reading emails that do not pertain to me, that I don't need to action, that is... And then you get so much information download all day. I'm not going to retain what I read in that email.
Right. And another helpful tip that I just thought about that I do too is in the morning, I create on my calendar, answer emails for 30 minutes. And then in the evening, I also put on my calendar, answer emails, right? So that gets you out of the hole, because sometimes it's like a hole that it's like just a dark hole that you can't get out of.
Gosh.
You're like answering emails, and like you said, 10 minutes turns into 2 hours, and you're like, crap, I didn't get what I needed to get done this morning, or you got a meeting coming up or whatever the case may be. So that's another pro tip. Create on your calendar 30 minutes to answer emails in the morning, and then allot yourself 30 minutes in the evening to answer emails. And I feel like that makes for a productive day.
I live and die by that calendar. And I have a home calendar, I got a work calendar, and I got a paper calendar for my business, because if I'm at the stage in my life, if I don't have it on a calendar, I ain't going, and I'm not going to remember. It has to go on the calendar.
I'm laughing because
remember.
I'm the same way.
As soon as we did the pod, I said, put that on the calendar, because I'm not going to remember. I mean, I'm down to the point where I'm putting like this hour block of time is for task. And I know you know her too, but Lacey put something out. It might have been a year or so ago. We were at an event, and I was telling her about like, time, and she was like a chief information officer, right? So she's got like a super like big
bomb.com,
like responsibility. I'm like, I don't have all that. And she was telling me like she could figure out to the minute like how many hours she was spending on work and with her kids. And she was like, you need to plan that out, block that out. Like, when are you going to do your mental health? And I said, that's what I'm focusing on this year for my goal setting. I think I'm pretty good at goal setting in my career.
Yeah.
I am not good at it in my personal life.
Yes.
I just have wild goals, like want to get to my goal weight out 25 more pounds. But then it's like, okay, what does it take to do that? Well, I need to eat better. Well, what does it take to do that? I need to meal prep. Then I need to meal plan. Right? And then I need to set time to go to the gym. Well, what do I need to plan to be able to make it to the gym? Right?
And some people think that it doesn't need to be that elaborate, but let me tell you something. When you have 1,000,001 things to do, you have to map it out. That's how goal setting works. You have to map it out. Okay, how am I going to do that? Okay, now, how am I going to do that?
It's essentially a SMART goal, right? At work, we talk about SMART goals all the time. And that is how I have realized, because I kept, like at the end of the year last year, I was like, okay, I got some stuff that I wanted to get done, but I kept feeling like I kept saying, I feel like I didn't get things accomplished that I wanted to. And if I didn't make it a goal, it didn't get done. And I said, okay, Tanisha, you know that you have a lot going on. And if you don't write it down, it doesn't get done. And if it's not a goal. And I didn't even need it to be a goal per se. Like I remember the last year, it was probably 2021, I did a vision board. I went back and pulled that vision board out. Everything on that vision board came to life. Wow. And it was just subconscious because I hung it up in my office on the board. So it was a subconscious reminder, right? It wasn't like I'm going down and I'm writing, okay, check it off this week, check it off this week. But like I had things on there that I wanted to do. So as I'm going through my day, I'm like, okay, I see that. Okay, if I want to do this with my home, I need to get da-da-da-da. If I'm going to do this with my business, okay, so don't forget to do that. And when I remembered, that's when I put it on my calendar.
You know what's crazy about what you just said? If that was subconsciously.
Imagine.
Oh my God.
Imagine if I had literally goal.
I think about that all the time, because then when you consciously do it, you are reaching your full potential.
And I had to have an honest talk with myself. And I said, you want to reach your full potential. And everybody that has reached where you're trying to go, it takes a lot of work. They tell you it takes a lot of work. And even my husband was like, you have to be okay with you're not going to be great at some things. You're going to drop the ball on some things because you're marching towards this.
Yes.
So make sure if this is what you're marching towards, that you are 100% committed to it, because you're going to have to dial in to a level that you're going to have to say no to things. You're not going to be able to go to things. You're not going to be able to, because you're going to have to lock in. And so I said this year, I'm putting a goal. And every month I go back, I did a year goal. And every month I go and I say, all right, what do I need to do this month to get to that goal?
Yeah.
What do I need to do this week to get to this month's goal? That's how you got to break it down. Okay, this is my big goal, what I want to get. Okay, so what do I need to do this month? Okay, so for example, if that's my business and I want to sell product, right? Okay, so the goal for this year is to sell product. My product's not going to sell till December, but I'm working on that January, February, March, month. Because you got to research. So this month is research vendors. This month is build the website. This month is research e-com. This month is launch the website.
And you
blah,
can
blah, blah,
do that with any aspect of your life.
Sure.
I will say, for an example, girl, we just be talking. But I can say, for an example, so I'm the chair of my high school 20-year class reunion. Don't ask me how I became the chair. I was voluntold that I'm the chair.
And it's all good.
And it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't have time to be the chair, but it's fine. But what you're saying is so true in that when I said, okay, because first of all, I had to say, okay. So when I accepted that I was the chair, because at first I didn't want to accept it, but when I had finally accepted that I was the chair, I said, okay, if we're going to do this, we have to roll this out in phases, right?
Yeah.
So last year was all about figuring out who we wanted to be there, figuring out how we were going to contact classmates, how we were going to let them know that we were going to be doing this, gauging involvement as it pertains to the board or the committee, fundraising, ideas for fundraising, because we ain't 16, we ain't spring chickens no more. So ain't no more car washes, ain't no more barbecue. And if my name is on it,
it's going to be right. It's going to look right.
If Crystal Smith's name is on it,
say it.
We're working smarter and not harder. Okay?
Yes.
So what you're saying is so true. I just, in my mind, and I guess because I work in the project world, and again, we always talk about planning, scheduling, execution, and things like that. It's like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, we're going to have to roll this out in phases. So these 3 months, we're focused on this. But like you said, let's dial it back.
Yeah.
Each month, what do we want to accomplish?
For sure.
Each month, how much do we want to bring in fundraising? Girl, we released it to the group on Facebook, and there are so many positive comments. We got a website.
Wow.
That's why I was telling you, I'm going to give you my website plug.
Yes. Give me the plug.
We got a website.
Yes.
We got ticket sales going. We got our Eventbrite. We got our DBA.
Yes.
We fundraised last year. I mean, we're making contact with sponsors.
Yeah.
Like, we are really making progress, but the only reason, and I feel that sometimes when you do that, everybody's not going to understand your vision, right? So last year when I was talking about all this stuff, rolling it out in phases and rolling out in months, some people on the committee, I'm not going to hold you, they couldn't see
it.
What was
we
going on.
can have a whole podcast about when people can't see the vision.
And honestly, people in my business, sometimes people say, oh, I didn't know you were doing that. I didn't know you made that connection. I didn't know that you, and I'm like, I do the work on boots on the ground, but I feel like at the end of the day, that's how life is. You roll things out in phases. So each month, if that's something you want to do, what do I need to do each week?
For sure.
What do I need to do each day? What do I need to do each hour? If you have to get that elaborate,
granular,
that's what you have to do.
And you don't have to do that all the time, because nobody can stay in that space, because it does become overwhelming, and then you go back to the burnout and all of that.
Sure.
But what you have to do is plan for one big planning session of what you want to get accomplished. Take that thing, like you said, easy, quarter by quarter, month by month, week by week. And then what you're doing actually is what they say, old people saying is how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
One bite at a time.
And that's what you got to do. You got to take that thing one bite at a time. And I'm not great at it, but what I do every year is I do reflection time.
Yeah.
And so when I went back and reflection time is you got to get real with yourself.
Ooh.
And you got to say, hey, you didn't show up in that space, and that's why you didn't meet the goal, or that's why you didn't get the outcome that you wanted.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Or if you have a financial goal that you want to meet, but you've been shopping all year, you got to be real with yourself.
That's right.
You know, or if it's you want to become a 6-figure earner, right? Did you do the things that you needed to do to get there and be that granular? Because it's not going to always be that hard.
Yes.
But you do got to put the upfront accountability. It's like a bank account. You got to do a bunch of deposits before you start earning interest.
And that's exactly the example that I used. I said,
yes.
we can't expect not to put anything in and to get the most out.
Yep.
We're the committee. So we've committed to putting on this grand event. So how are we going to do it? We're going to do it month by month. And every month we're going to do this and we're going to check this off our list. I told them, I said, February 1st, we're going to be rolling out selling tickets.
Yeah.
Because we have some classmates that don't stay in Houston.
Correct.
We need hotel accommodations for them.
Yeah.
So, and we need medium, high, and low budgets.
Yep.
We have to be considerate. You know, on the ticket prices, we got married couples. I'm not married, but there are people that are married.
Yeah.
So the tickets are going to have to stay reasonable.
Yeah.
Because it's not about us, it's about the class. So like you said in life, whenever you have goals or whenever you have things that you want to get accomplished, when you do that reflection time, you got to be real like, did I do like what they say about the ants? They store in the winter so that they can, you know, when that season comes.
Summer bodies are made in the winter. That means you planning for the summer in the winter.
That's right.
And so that's what I said. Last summer I said, all right, girl, you looking good, but you didn't plan as hard as you needed to in the winter. You let a couple weeks, a couple months maybe go. So this winter you got to be more cognizant mindful and cognizant of that if that's truly your goal, right?
Yes. Yes.
And then you also got to make sure, okay, is this a goal for this year?
Yes.
Because you gotta understand your life and what you got going on and say, all right, this is a big lofty goal.
Yeah.
So for example, my business, I would have been stuck not getting it off the ground because I felt like I need to do all these grand things. And finally, a few people had to shake me and just say, just start it.
Just start.
Just start it. And I just started it and it grew legs by itself so that now this year I saw what it could do, just me having the willpower to get it off the ground. So this is the building year. So every year in my business, I've decided that this is the building year.
Yes.
This is the growth year. This is the startup, right?
Yes.
And you work the plan that way.
Think about the gym, right? Because we've been using that example tonight or today. Think about the gym. Half the battle is getting there.
Oh, baby.
When we get there, we are in the zone.
Your endorphins kick in and you be going and you be doing it and you be cool. But it's getting there. And that's the same thing with me, not to, you know, I don't want to keep harping on it, but goal setting has been so heavy on my mind.
Yeah.
And what I've realized is great people get up early. And I struggle with getting up early. And so I was talking to my husband. I was like, I need to get up at 5 a.m. realistically. But it's dark, it's cold, that's hard.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, don't just go cold turkey trying to get up at 5. Just get up at 6.
Yes.
And then I was like, well, shoot, 6 is hard. Let me shoot for 6:30. Like, you got to reassess the goal at all times. Yeah. Because if you can't do it and you only set one goal and you don't meet it, then what you going to do? You're going to quit. So that's why you got to reassess and be accountable. And that's that accountability tool, right?
Yes.
It's all right. My goal is 5. Let me start at 6:30.
Right. And then when you get up.
After 6:30, then you go to 6.
Yes.
Then you move it up till you get to the goal.
Yes. And then when you get up, I always feel like this. I set a goal when I started working out last year. I just got so fed up with not making time to work out. I said, I'm just going to walk every day, 30 minutes. That's it. I don't matter what time of the day. It could be the morning, evening, afternoon, lunchtime, whatever. I said, no matter what. And when I made up in my mind, I said, no matter what, I'm going to walk for 30 minutes a day. And then once you start, like you said, making that routine for yourself, then you get motivated, you get settled in, and then you start beating that time. I always tell the guy that owns the studio, he's up by like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
So like
every morning.
How?
So some mornings when I would drop my daughter to school and it would be like 5:30 in the morning. He's in the gym. And he's walking out of the gym. He like, oh, I already got my workout in. I'm gone.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm asleep. Knocked out. I'm pulling the covers up over my neck like I'm asleep.
But like you said, there are very successful people that will tell you the key is getting up in the morning so that you can have that time, like you said, to reflect. So you can have that time to goal set for that day or whatever you want to do. So you can have that time to look forward, listen to meditate, do your yoga, exercise, drink your coffee,
just
whatever
quiet
you want
time
to do.
and get, because there was something I read the other day that I've been trying. It says, do not get on social media the first hour you're awake.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, I was legit doing that.
Yeah.
And they said it helps wire your brain to be more productive during the day.
Yeah.
And so that goes back to that goal of getting up early, right?
Yeah.
And so what I also realized is, ma'am, you got to go to bed early if you want to get up early.
Yeah.
So I had to start there. Like now I'm to the point where, all right, I'm at least in the bed by 10. That is a win for me.
Oh, that's a good
to be in the bed by 10:30.
For all you got going on in your family.
But
that's
baby,
a
I
good
still
time.
can't get up. So I was like, all right, 6:30.
Yeah.
Start there. Can we do 6:30? And then I said, I need a little nudge. Like, hey, remember the goal? Now I'm like, all right, I need E.T. the motivator to be my alarm clock. You know, like, that's just always reassessing the goal.
Yeah.
And ask me if I got up at 6:30 this week. I didn't. But I'm always reassessing, why didn't I?
Yeah.
Right? Or what didn't I? And so sometimes I pick, okay, I am in the bed, but me and my husband are so busy all day that is our time to connect.
Yeah.
So I didn't go to bed early so we could watch our show or we could catch up. Like we feast tonight. What you got going on tomorrow? What the kids got going on?
Yeah.
Where who got to get picked up and go where?
Yes.
So I'm trying to loose that guilt of not meeting the goal when I say I was, because the key is if you're working towards it, you're already putting in more work than the people that aren't.
And don't throw the whole week away.
No.
That's another pro tip.
I was hard about that.
Sometimes it's like if you don't do something for 3 days straight, well, you got another 4. And you can turn it around.
I just start the week, but every day. I'm like, this is Saturday, Wednesday, Wednesday to Wednesday, that's the week.
Sometimes you be like, well, I'll try it again next week. No, don't have that mentality.
Yeah.
Whatever you decide that you want to do, it doesn't matter if you do it 1 day a week. 1 day is better than no days. That's where I'm at with it. With my busy schedule, I'm like, if I get 1 day in, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. That's what happened today. I did not work out all week. And this morning, I said, quit playing with yourself. Go to, and I said, you can't even skimp out and do the Peloton. Like, get your butt to the gym. Like, go work out.
Yeah.
And you got to do that. And like, that's that accountability, like self-accountability. Be like, I didn't show up for me this week, but I bet you I showed up for my kids. I bet I showed up for work.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't never been like, all right, well, I ain't feeling work today, so I just ain't gonna go.
Yeah.
But you feel that way about working out.
That's right.
Or you feel that way about eating healthy. Right? So you got to be accountable to you.
Yeah.
And I'm learning that because that's hard.
Be accountable to you, because if it's no you, then what's everybody else going to do? And I always go back to this. I will always do it because I travel so much for work. When you sit on that airplane in the safety briefing, what they say is, put your mask on first before you assist others. That's a real thing.
Real.
If you don't put your mask on first, it's crazy because before COVID, people would always be like, and I say people, I mean some people in my family, they would be like, Crystal's selfish, you know, she do this and she do. But listen, I'm going to travel. If I want to go somewhere, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Whether that's a restaurant, a bar, or whatever the case may be, just to relax. If I want a massage, I'm going to go get a massage. If I want to go to yoga, I'm going to go to yoga. Crystal is going to do exactly what Crystal needs to do in order to mentally be in a place where I can take care of others.
Self-care is so key.
It's the best care.
So key. And and we can say this for another conversation, but self-care is more than just a bubble bath.
Yeah.
Because when I get out that bath, I still got the same stress and worries that I had when I got in there. So for me, sometimes self-care is sitting down and writing out those goals because I can get all of the things that's holding me back from, because you know, sometimes you get so overwhelmed with what to do, you don't do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then I start the doom scrolling because I'm so overwhelmed with everything I got to do. So sometimes self-care is getting those goals out so you know what you're working towards, so you can say in your mind clearly, I set my goals out, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but I've scheduled time for that so I can truly use this time to decompress and go get that massage, go get on that trip or whatever. Because when I go on that trip, the phone is going off. I'm not doing no work. I'm not answering work calls. I'm not answering work emails. If y'all give me 50 out of the 52 weeks a year, these 2 weeks, I'm not available.
And I think a lot of times if you don't write down the things that you've accomplished, like I think it's good to write down goals, and goal setting is something that we do in my industry in just period.
Yep.
But I think that it's good for you to also just sit back and, like you said, have that reflection time. I write down every accomplishment that I have, notebooks and notebooks and notebooks and notebooks at my house. And every accomplishment, I write it down because guess what? That is a form of self-care for me.
For sure.
For me, running around like a chicken with my head cut off every single day and not writing down what I accomplished or not remembering, because you're not going to always remember what you did either. When you're in grind mode or you're in go mode, you might not remember what you did. Oh no, I write down every accomplishment because that's a form of self-care to me, to say, yeah, you did this, you did that, you didn't have time for this, you didn't have time for that, because we get that guilt like you talked about earlier.
Yeah.
You didn't have time for this, you didn't have time for this, but what you did do was
that's good.
this.
That's good.
So that's what I do. That's a form to me of self-care as well. And let people call you selfish.
Yeah.
Let them.
And I even journal the things that's keeping me from reaching my goals. If I'm stagnant, like I'm digging deep into why can you not get past this mental roadblock, right?
Yeah.
I journal that out and like I'm having a mental roadblock. And is it because I'm overwhelmed? Is it because I am anxious? Is it because I feel like I don't have the tools needed to do this task?
Yeah.
What is that? And you gotta and that to me, journaling, that is a part of self-care.
It is.
Because to me, it has to be productive.
Yes.
Right. And so that's why it's hard for me to go get a massage, because I know people love them, but I'm literally laying on that table thinking about all the things that I need to be doing, I could be doing.
That's me.
And so I'm like, all right, like when we going to be through with this so I can go do what I need to do? Or I have realized, I was talking to a girlfriend that she was like, today I took a self-care day and I was literally making myself lay in the bed and watch TV. And you have to block out the sounds of like, you could be doing this, you could be doing that. Yeah. And I have the hardest time with that.
It's crazy that you say that about the massage, because I'll be honest, the last time I went and got a massage, I enjoyed, Tanisha, no lie, probably like the first 15 minutes of it. And then after that, I like you said, I just subconsciously start saying, okay, I gotta make sure Chan has this. I gotta take care of this meeting. Oh shoot, I forgot to take care of this project.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, I need to do this. I need to do that. I got this due. It's like the first 15 minutes was like, and then after that 15 minutes, it was a 90-minute massage.
Oh, but I couldn't do 90 minutes if I tried.
After that first 15
I'm
minutes.
at about 45 minutes. 60 minutes was like, oh my God. Now, the only time I can truly do it is if I'm on vacation. If I'm on vacation, because my mind is already in a relaxed state, I've tucked and tied all the things. So I can do it. So like if we go to Mexico, baby, give me the beach massage. Give me the massage at the spa.
Ma'am.
But if it's just like, if it's like, oh, I gifted you a massage, like when you go and use it, I'm like, I don't know, because I got so much going on that it's hard to quiet my mind. But again, that goes back to you didn't set a boundary.
Yeah.
There's something that you didn't create a boundary for that's not allowing you to rest and relax.
Yeah.
Because that's key.
Yeah. No, that's key. I mean, as you see, being a CEO is not easy.
No.
But with these tools that we talked about tonight, it's a start.
Yeah.
It's a start. I know a lot of people walk around and they just see these power women. And we all talk about the things that we're accomplishing, the businesses that we run, how we run our families and things like that. But I think creating these systems, creating these boundaries, creating these tools of accountability and self-care, I think that'll kind of help us a little bit along the way.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's an ever-evolving process. It's an ever-evolving thing.
Yes.
Nobody ever makes it to the mountaintop and say, I got it all figured out. I did everything. Now I'm running on autopilot. Because there's always more you want to do, more you can accomplish, more you want to do. You know, so it's ever-evolving and you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. So guys, we have given you a lot of stuff. Okay, we have given you a lot of stuff. And I hope that as you think about, because I don't want you self-doubting. Sometimes we self-doubt too at certain points of our lives. I don't want you self-doubting. We are all CEOs of our lives. You don't have to run a company. I read something on LinkedIn earlier. It says you don't have to be in a leadership role to be a leader, right?
Absolutely.
And this is the same for a CEO. You don't have to own a company to be a CEO. If you are running your budget correctly, you are a CEO of your budget. If you are running your life correctly, you are a CEO. If you get your car maintenance on time, on schedule, every time it's supposed to be maintenance, you are a CEO.
I need an oil change right now.
Listen. It's just the little things in life that make you a CEO. Yeah. And I want us in 2023, we're in a world where everyone is doing so well or saying they are. I want us to truly appreciate the things that we are doing. Mm-hmm. And I want us to consider us in that realm as well. When you see another woman that's on her stuff, that's doing her stuff, I want you to be like, now that's a CEO right there. So in honor of Black History Month, we have a CEO that I want you to look at, and she is amazing. So we're going to end this episode with her clip, because all the things that she's doing in the sports realm is just amazing in that space. As we know, there's not a lot of women in that space, in the sports space, but it's opening up in these years that we have found. So she is our Black History moment, and you'll get to see her in a minute. But Tynesha, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. I love when you come by, because it just feels like we just chit-chat.
We are girl chat.
It's a lot of
girl chat with a couple gems being dropped, you know?
Listen, and these are things that we've picked up along the way, but drop down in the comments if you guys have some accountability tools that you use, if you guys have started goal setting, if you guys have started creating boundaries at work, let us know what those things are, because each one has to teach one, okay? So when you're in a room and you learn something, then let us know. And then if we're in the room and we learn something, we'll let you know too. Listen, this has been a fun episode. My name is Crystal, also known as the Six Figure Single Mom. Like I said, thank you so much, Tynesha, for joining me. And if you are desiring to get to the next level in your career, I am a career coach, so I help career women strategize. I help them to figure out exactly where they want to be in life, and I help them to strategize to get to where they're going. So if that is you, then please email me at sixfiguresinglemoms@gmail.com, or you can visit my website at www.sixfiguresinglemom.com. If you are not subscribed to the channel, we have been talking and giving you so much free game. What are you waiting for? It's just one button. It says subscribe. Just click it and then come back next week and then see what I have for you guys. And also, if you are not following me on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram at The Six Figure Single Mom. Again, at The Six Figure Single Mom. So this has been a great episode. And until next time, bye.
It's pretty common knowledge that Jalen Hurts is represented by all women, but one woman in particular stands out from the group. Nicole Lynn did what any bold person would do and sent Jalen a direct message asking if he had any representation. After a very thorough presentation to him and his father, the rest is history. Nicole has her JD, tackled Wall Street, and signed her first client at only 26 years old as the first female sports agent at Players Rep, now acquired by Young Money. In 2019, she was the first Black woman to represent an NFL draft pick when she represented defensive tackle Quinnen Williams. Quinnen grew up without his mother, and come draft time, she decorated an extra seat in their section of the green room just to make sure his mother's presence was felt.
To me, it was just important for him to feel like she was included.
This is the type of treatment all of her players receive, and I imagine is why Jalen decided to start his journey with her. She's currently the president of football operations for Clutch Sports, and now represents several NFL players, 2 first-round pro softball players for free, and even a ballerina. That was on her website. She's published an autobiography, and is also working on producing a show on Stars with 50 Cent about her life. And as of today, she's the first ever Black female agent to represent an NFL quarterback in the Super Bowl. It doesn't look like she has any kids, but we have to give her credit as the mother of this amazing feat.